Ever feel like compliance is slowing down your DevOps pipeline? You're not alone. Many organizations spend countless hours worrying about audits, regulations, and internal policies, which can feel like a huge roadblock. But what if I told you there's a way to bake compliance right into your development workflow, so you can stay secure, compliant, without missing a beat? That's exactly what GitLab's compliance frameworks offer. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to turn GitLab into your compliance ally, and there's a bonus tip in it for you too. Compliance frameworks. We've talked about compliance frameworks in a previous video and how they help scope security policies. Think of them as tags for projects that enforce both security policies and requirement controls. Policies versus requirements. Policies enforce actions. Requirements, on the other hand, check that your project settings meet your organizational rules. And just a heads up, requirements do require GitLab's ultimate plan. Compliance frameworks can contain multiple requirements, and each requirement can include up to 5 controls. For example, SaaS scans should run, or the project must not be public. There are 50 built-in controls available in GitLab, and advanced users can even use external ones. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button. I share lots of tips on GitLab and DevOps best practices, and your subscription helps you stay up to date. If you're learning something new, give this video a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. Reports. 2 types of reports get generated when you use requirement controls: compliance status reports and violation reports. Compliance status reports give you a high-level overview of how your projects stack up against your defined compliance standards. They're great for compliance teams to spot gaps and track the overall posture. Violation reports go deep. They list out specific violations like unauthorized approvals or skipped reviews. Perfect for compliance officers or team leads to dig into the nitty-gritty and figure out what's broken. Creating requirements. Let's walk through how to create requirements. You can do this when creating a new framework or by editing an existing one. Remember, you'll need the manage and assign compliance framework permissions on the top level group to create and apply frameworks. Head to the top level group where you want to apply the framework. Go to Secure, Compliance Center, and click the Frameworks tab. Hit New Framework and select Create Blank Framework. Give it a name and a description and a color. Enable Set as Default if you want this to be the default framework for this group. This only applies to new projects within that group, so any existing projects won't be affected unless you manually assign it. You can now start adding requirements. Remember, each one is limited to 5 controls. Now, when testing this, as of Enterprise Edition 18.1.0 pre, I've hit what I believe is a bug. I'm unable to save requirements with more than 1 control. The error is unable to save compliance framework, please try again. It's not obvious at first, but after testing it seems consistent. I've raised the issue with GitLab and fingers crossed they'll squash it. Once you've added your requirements, apply the framework to any projects you want to monitor and then click Create Framework. And you're done. GitLab scans these projects when a new framework is added, requirement is updated, or every 12 hours. My thoughts on requirements. In the compliance status report, you'll see the requirement name next to each control and the name of the associated framework. Personally, I'm not 100% sold on the idea of requirements being the way to group controls, especially with the 5 control limit. Most frameworks are built to map to a broader standard like SOC 2, and 5 controls probably isn't enough for a requirement to handle that. They're not exportable outside of exporting the entire framework, so reusability isn't the goal either. Also, GitLab, let's talk about the naming. Requirements is a bit confusing. I mean, search for compliance framework requirements, and you'll be buried in articles for what requirements are needed to create a framework, not how they work. GitLab, please change the name. I vote for control groups. If you guys or gals have got a better idea, drop it in the comments below. Automation. Right now, there's no webhook support for requirements, and the REST API doesn't cover them either. However, you can use the GraphQL queries to automate certain tasks. For example, use the compliance requirement statuses query to list all statuses. And it's also worth noting, I haven't seen any reference to compliance framework requirements in the GitLab Terraform provider as yet. It's something to watch out for if you're IAC heavy. Before we wrap up, a quick shout out to DevOps Digital, a DevOps consulting company and official GitLab partner that helps organizations accelerate development while staying compliant. They specialize in implementing GitLab's compliance features And if you need expert help with GitLab compliance, check them out. And a big thanks to DevOps for supporting the DevOps community. Are you using the new requirements with compliance frameworks? What's your experience been like? Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found it useful. It really helps support the channel.